So I want to cover a news article from a little while ago, and this one is a little terrifying because it kind of showcases where we're headed, because we're already there technically, but there's a lot of people who don't believe that we are there. And you'll see what I mean when I say we're there here in a moment. But first, let me go ahead and get into the fan art section, because I want to celebrate the effort y'all have put in to celebrating this channel and all the time we've spent together. And I don't know why I used that preamble, knowing that I was going to be looking at something from Anubian, which is just my face plastered on top of the buzzwole that pounded my fucking asshole sideways and turned my innie into an outie while I was playing Pokemon Unite. So apparently watching me get violated by the enemy bruiser on stream is enough to just make that happen. That's fantastic. I love life. Just, nah. Bonbon says, we bring back fan arts. I've been trying to do more of them. The problem is that outside of a handful of posts, fan art has actually slowed down a bit, which there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it does mean that if I do a fan art every single episode, we do kind of chew through them pretty quickly these days compared to the amount that we used to get a while ago. Probably just because my channel's gotten smaller. Who knows? I'm not exactly sure why we got as much fan art back then as we did in the first place, because holy shit, y'all make a ton of stuff. Holy crap. But that all said, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That all said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have to go over. Let's see. Bonbon says, yeah, but there isn't a dedicated channel like with the old server. Oh, no, there is a dedicated fan art channel. It's right here. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. Yep, there's a dedicated fan art channel right here. It should be visible to everybody, but it is right there. It is right there. And all of the old fan art is also in here, in the fan art archive. It's all been uploaded into the old archive of every piece of fan art that was ever submitted on this channel over the years. And there is an unhealthy amount of it. Holy goddamn shit. There's so much in there. Like, I could probably do a series going over that stuff just over the course of time, doing 5 to 10 fan arts per video and not run out by the end of a year. That's just, it's insane. It's insane. That's why I said, like, I am not used to the amount of fan art that comes in now because I became so used to the amount that was coming in before. And it's just fucking crazy that that much existed in the first place. It's insane. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are completely crazy. I am appreciative, but it doesn't take away from how much craziness is going on with this community. That all said, this is the terrifying thing that I want to cover. So, there was a cisgender woman at Walmart who got fired recently. Recently as in 2 months ago. Because a random person coming into the store threatened her, thinking that she was trans. So Walmart decided that the way to handle that was to get rid of the employee instead of standing by their employees. Like, this is stupid. This is crazy. And I had forgotten that this was a thing that even happened. But we had a meeting with Equality Florida earlier today about the protest that we are going to be doing for Marcy Rankton in Florida. And holy gobstucking shit, this was brought to my attention again. And this sucks. Like, it's bad when this happens to trans people, obviously, without a doubt. But this is just kind of evidence that anti-trans legislation ends up hurting cis women as well. So, let's get into the story. A cis woman at Walmart who's an employee there, who says she was verbally assaulted in the female restroom by a man who mistook her for a transgender woman, was fired because she reported the incident to the wrong supervisor, which apparently created a security risk. That's a sentence that shouldn't exist. Any supervisor, when a customer is threatening you, should be the correct supervisor to go there. Bonbon says, oh wait, the whole category wasn't shown because of the weird hidden channels feature. Weird hidden channels feature, that's a thing? Huh, maybe that's a thing we could try to figure out fixing on the Discord. That should be one of those channels that everybody's able to see, just in case there's somebody who's like not super tech savvy but still wants to throw their stuff in. Because I've had people submit fan art like through email because they couldn't get into the Discord server for some reason. Interesting. Anyway, Rhyme Jack says she's just tall and heavy set. Yeah, she's just tall and heavy set. And that was enough reason for them to say, oh, look, it is a trans. Just kind of evidence that when they say, oh, we can always tell. No, the fuck they can't. No, the fuck they can't. They can't always tell. Again, I've been going around with my family for years now. Like, literally, it's been 2 years with Saki, and there has never been a single question about her gender. And yet my family is notoriously conservative, like incredibly so. So, no, this is insane to me that this happens at all. So I can't explain it quickly, but sometimes channels categories are hidden because Discord felt like it. That's weird. Danny Davis, who is queer, took to social media on March 24th and wrote a post about what she said happened while she was at work. Jesus, this is actual insanity. Also, yes, I just took a screenshot because I am posting onto Blue Sky. This is insane. On... Because I do have to remember that this is still my job, and I do have to post about this on social media. And I forget to do that all the time, and maybe I would be in a better spot as a creator if I actually did remember to post the things that I am working on. Let's see here, because we're seeing Jesus. If I say shit, I'm going to get hit by YouTube on that comment. So, I mean, what is it at that point? What is the correct way to do this? Holy crap, cis women get negatively affected by anti-trans people? I can't spell. I can't spell. Anyway, boop. There we go. Job done. There. I did the gross part of my job. Clueless Expert, it's a vibes check thing, but I'm going to be honest, you've pretty much been a level-headed person in the chat for a while. I'll talk with the mod team and see what they say. That all said, this is a terrible place to shamelessly plug to subscribe to the channel. This is a terrible place to talk about the bell notification icon and Patreon and all that stuff. But I guess technically I did it, so I can get that out of the way. So she noted that she was nearly a 7-year employee of Walmart and holds several other part-time jobs, including joy and privilege of tutoring special needs children as requested, describing herself as a hard worker who's never been in trouble. She's really tall, just shy of 6'4". Okay, cool. How's it going, Guitar Rocker? You was looking for that article on YouTube and found this one. What are we... It said you can use Grolixes. I don't know what that is. Are you talking about the... I don't need the technicalities. I know what I'm doing. That's what I'm just gonna do there. Like, I can just say crap and YouTube's not gonna get upset about that. It'll be fine. I can just do that. Around 8 p.m. on March 14th, she wrote that she was alone in a stall in the women's restroom when she heard a man yelling. The voice was much louder than simply someone yelling from the door. This man was fully inside the restroom, yelling something about transgender women. Davis said the man yelled that he was going to beat them and protect his wife or girlfriend from the... What the fuck? What human being just goes, oh, look, I found one of the people we're not supposed to like in the restroom. I'm gonna kick her ass. Jesus fucking Christ. This is the kind of country that transphobia creates, by the way, just so you know. Like, anybody who goes, oh, we can always tell, or anybody that just sits there and waxes lyrical about, well, actually, gender is, any one of those fucking people, this is the world that they create, by the way. All of you little devil's advocate pieces of shit, this is what you do. This is what you create. All of you. Davis wrote that she was scared and froze, not knowing if the man was going to actually physically attack her. She said I was the only one in there, so it seemed pretty clear that he saw me enter the restroom and assumed that I'm trans because of my height, Davis recalled. It was terrifying, and I wish no one else ever has to experience that. The man eventually left, yeah, because every fucking person who makes a threat like that is actually a goddamn pussy. I mean, I'm happy that he didn't attack her, but he's also a goddamn coward, and this is evidence of that. They like talking a big game and making people feel scared, but when it comes time to actually nut up and do the thing that they've threatened to do, they can't pull the trigger on it because they are all whiny little pussy baby men. But they shouldn't be levying those threats in the first place because we have to take those threats seriously the entire goddamn time. She says, my immediate supervisor came in and noticed that I was visibly shaken and emotional. After taking a few moments to calm myself down, I told her what had happened. I didn't go home since it wasn't long until my shift was done. Less than a week later, I was fired. The reason given for termination was that she did not report the incident to a salaried management employee and therefore created a security risk. She told her immediate supervisor. That's what she did. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't have to, like, okay, no. I've worked at Walmart. The policy is not talk to a salaried employee. It's an open door policy. You talk to the next person in your chain of command, and if that person ignores you, you go to the next person. There is no policy that I am aware of from the time that I worked at Walmart where this is a thing. No. As somebody who's worked for that company, I will speak from experience. No. But I do want to speak, before we get further in here, I do want to speak about Walmart's bullshit tendencies when it comes to firing people. Like, obviously, we know Walmart is anti-union, right? But I'm going to be on this tangent for a moment. Who here in the chat has worked at Walmart? I want a raising of hands for anybody who's worked at Walmart. And if you've worked at Walmart, do you remember the D-Day system? For those who don't know, the D-Day system at Walmart. The D-Day system at Walmart is a system that is in place for the sole purpose of preventing you from collecting unemployment. The way the D-Day system works is if Walmart thinks that you need to be terminated, they will create a paper trail. For you, and you will get a day paid leave where you have to leave work. This happened to me. I had to leave work, and I wasn't allowed to come back until I had written an essay explaining that everything that I had done was bad, and that I didn't deserve my job, and that I needed to basically convince my managers to keep me in that essay, but the essay would not be accepted unless I specifically said in the essay in writing that I had done something wrong. The D-Day system at Walmart is fucking stupid. So, what they are trying to do is, yes, coerce you into quitting, but it's a win-win for them either way. You see, if you write the essay, you keep your job, but now they have written testimonial from you that you were not a good employee. And because they have that written testimonial from you, they can deny you not health insurance, they already do that, but they can deny you unemployment. If you choose not to write it, it is considered you consenting to termination, which will also invalidate unemployment for you. Because you had the choice to keep your job and you, at that point, willingly quit. So, Walmart's firing policies are bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. It is a catch-22 of the highest form. So, she said, I took it to mean that I was a security risk because someone had mistaken me for trans. Davis said she was devastated because of the anti-LGBTQ climate in Florida. She had been planning on leaving the state, but now she doesn't know after losing the job. She appealed the termination through Walmart's internal review process, but was denied. She filed for unemployment, but also took her story to Facebook, where it soon went viral. Walmart appeared to acknowledge the error in a statement released by the media, saying, We want our associates to feel safe and supported in their workplace, and we won't tolerate bullying or threats of violence against our associates or customers. Yeah, you didn't tolerate it. You just let it happen and then fired the person. You punished the victim. You fucking idiots. That was from Walmart spokesperson Joe Pennington, who doesn't deserve his job. We've reviewed the situation and will be addressing it internally. We've also made multiple attempts to invite Miss Davis to return to work with back pay. Yeah, but did you do that because she submitted her thing for internal review? Because she says that you denied that. Or did you invite her to return to work with back pay because you were threatened by a media scandal? And if you did have her return to work with back pay, what's the likelihood that this shit's going to happen again? Like, you've established now that this is not a safe work environment for the workers at your store. Davis received a similar email from Walmart offering reinstatement with back pay, but told the Post she is unsure if she will accept the offer. Yep, I haven't even read this article, but I think it would just be a hostile environment to return to. And it would be. It would be. Jesus Christ. What are the comments here? Let's see. The only reason Walmart apologized and offered her job back was because of the backlash. Yep. So Davis received a similar offer from Walmart, offering reinstallment from back pay. They said Davis should retain legal counsel, who would then advise her if she was to accept Walmart's offer. That could then be legally construed as a settlement. Actually, that's true. Hold on. That one's actually true. So, I remember when I was working in Department 82, I was technically an employee of grocery, because for some reason Department 82, it consisted of a department manager and nothing else. Department 82 is the department where you do the seasonal stuff, you do the stuff on the front end, you're technically in charge of the card section. Like, that's all Department 82. So, when I was working there, I remember hearing about my manager getting an injury from falling off of a ladder, but that injury was happened at work. Walmart offered her $1,000 at some point, and she accepted the $1,000 and didn't think anything of it. But she made mention to me when we were in the back room that she was fairly certain that that was effectively Walmart hush money. And on the one hand, it kind of is, but on the other hand, it's them sending you something that can be construed as a settlement without communicating that it is a settlement. This is one of the reasons why anytime that there is like a legal issue like this, the first thing that you are told to do, aside from shutting your goddamn mouth and getting a lawyer, is do not accept any money for anything. That is basic information, but a lot of people don't have that. This person says a company's internal review process is normally not going to provide justice because the people in management who conduct it are only concerned with protecting the company, even when management itself is wrong. Typical workplace situation where they give you multiple hoops to jump through to do something correctly, but give themselves every opportunity to thwart you. If you jump through all the hoops, but out of order, then no good. Miss one hoop, no good. Go back and make it up, no good. All the hoops correctly, but too quick, no good. Waited too long between hoops, no good. Did everything right? Well, management has to think about it for a while. In the meantime, you're fired. And I promise you, they are barely talking about you at those meetings. Yeah, no, so this is effectively the America that is being created by making America more anti-trans. America already was fairly anti-trans, but it got worse as trans people received more recognition and more rights. It went from something that people didn't talk about all that often, but when they did, it was always disparaging, to them being very loud about it and being equally disparaging. And let me go ahead and make one thing clear. That isn't the fault of trans people. It's not the fault of the victims for being loud and proud about who they are. It's never the fault of the victims here. Now, there's always people who want to engage in victim blaming, and I've seen this shit in my comment section where people have told me this exact thing, where if the trans people weren't as loud about this, if they had not gone after the kids, despite the fact that they're not doing that. Like, I get all of those responses, and at the end of the day, it's just a way to shift the blame away from trans people. And the more out and proud trans people are with their existence, the more of this backlash happens. So what the fuck do we do about it? Well, this one's pretty simple. We normalize being trans. That's the easiest thing in the world to do, but also the hardest thing in the world to do. It is simultaneously both. It's easy because the only thing you have to do is be yourself. If you're okay with trans people, you just have it be a thing that comes up in conversation every now and again. And, you know, if somebody says that they have problems with trans people, you talk to them about it there, and you make them feel like they're a bad person for not being okay with people transitioning. Shame is a wonderful drug, but if you're trans, yes, it's dangerous, especially in certain areas, to be out and proud about being trans, but not showing yourself out as trans is what conservatives are trying to do. They are trying to literally beat you back into the closet. What you do about this is you continue to be out and proud. Eventually, as people are born into a world where trans people are more and more normalized, and as the news gets more and more tired of talking about this shit, and as we do our damnedest to fight more and more against unjust anti-trans laws, eventually the norm will be that trans people are here with as close to the same rights as everyone else as we can manage. I say as close to because the ideal is we all have equal rights, and the rights that pertain to us are rights that are kept. So, like, if I need a knee replacement, I can get that. And if a trans man needs phalloplasty, he can get that. That can be seen as extra rights for some people, but they are very stupid when they make that argument. That's not extra rights in any way, shape, or form. The reason that I say as close to is I am willing to make an assumption that even if on paper, even if de jure, we have every single right across the board hammered out for everyone and all is equal, that will not lead to de facto equality as long as there are bigots who are willing to make life horrible for trans people who don't have the privilege of existing as themselves without being scrutinized by every Joe Schmo on the planet. So, as close to is effectively what we will have, because there's always two sides to human rights. There's the shit that is codified in the law, and then there is the way that people actually comport themselves around you. That said, ultimately, this is not a reality that we should be shooting for. Yes, anti-trans laws hurt cis people, and we should bring that up when it's prudent. But we should also make sure that we never forget the humanity of the trans people who are affected by this as well, as they are the primary targets. And cis people, privileged as we can be, we are still collateral damage. Randall says, how dare that gay people openly love another person, very tame and hold hands. Actually, no, I'm okay with not letting them hold hands in public. I'm perfectly okay with that. That is a disgusting, immoral act. Anybody who has read even a single manga knows from the get-go that holding hands leads directly to pregnancy. Not in my Christian America, ran the fool. I don't even want straight couples holding hand. That shit is gross in public. That, obviously, I'm kidding. I'm sincerely hoping that nobody is taking those words seriously. If they are, then please go touch grass. Please go get friends. Please go communicate with people around you and just learn what sarcasm is as a concept. Please and thank you. Axel says, what about asexual couples? Asexual people still boink. And if they're holding hands, they're boinking and getting pregnant. Anyway, that all said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This shit is bananas, and yet we live through it every goddamn day now. That said, please check out my streams Monday through Thursday, where we talk about the horrors of the universe ad nauseum. I also would implore you to hit the bell notification icon and do all the things that the YouTube algorithm likes on both the live stream channel and the main channel. And if you want to support me directly, please check out my Patreon and the fourth wall link that will also take you over to my merch store, where you can get the playmat that was designed by a good friend of mine who did a fan-fucking-tastic job on it. Also, if you have not already followed me over on Blue Sky, please do that. Also, get off of Twitter. It's way healthier over here, I promise. Anyway, that all said, let's strive for a world where politics and compassion can actually meet in the middle. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full-time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Leela Ururaka, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press, though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.